Hello guys, and welcome back. Those of you that are waiting for one of my husband's videos are probably wondering if he forgot about you. He has not. He has just been crazy busy. He's been working on that tractor every spare second he gets. He just hasn't had the time to sit down, edit, and put out a video for you guys yet. But in today's video, we are going to be preparing for more snow. In our last video, you saw that it was beautiful out. We were in t-shirts. We had, some severe weather come through. But this time we are back in our winter jacket, and we are going to do some things down at the barn as usual. We are going to get these horses their lunch fed and clean out these rabbits again. And we are going to use these rabbit droppings and their wasted hay. Just like any other critters that eat hay, rabbits tend to be kind of wasteful with their hay. We are going to take this hay up and use this to prepare the garden. We have some garlic that has sprouted, some strawberries that are poking through their straw, and we actually have one head of cabbage that survived the winter. And so we are going to use this wasted rabbit hay to cover our little sproutlings so that it is protected from the snow that we are supposed to get tomorrow. And here is that little cabbage we had that survived the winter. He had no coverings. It was just one lonely little cabbage plant. And as you can see here, now we have gotten all of our garlic covered. Our little cabbage is covered. The majority of our strawberries are covered and ready to go. It was super windy today, so I kind of felt like I was throwing straw covering on these guys just to have the wind blow it off. And we are just gonna get ready and hunker down for this cold blast that we are gonna have come through. And here you can kind of tell exactly how windy it was. I took the sound out of the majority of this video because of how windy it was. And the wind actually tore off a few items of clothes off my line. And now we are going to get into the winter weather we got. So as you can see, we did actually get our snow. I am glad we got everything covered. The garden is over that way. We had some high winds for a while. We lost a few more branches off our tree. We had a branch land on our chicken tractor here, and we will have to put a new door on that, but that's okay. That's the least of our concerns. But it will be 60 degrees on Monday again. The cold and the snow is not going to stop the goose from playing in the water. So after a snow, the chickens don't tend to venture very far, and stuff was definitely melting right away. So this is them finally coming out to scratch and play. The horses and the cow weathered the weather just fine with plenty of hay left in their hay hopper and that brand new roof on that lean-to keeping them warm and dry and out of the elements. And so now that we have seen the beauty of the fresh snowfall, and we were glad that we had everything in the garden that has sprouted covered, the critters were all doing well, we are going to go back into the kitchen and prepare some hot chocolate, because hot chocolate is a necessity after a winter storm, after you have had 70-degree days. So we are going to start with 4 cups of milk, and you're just gonna put that in your medium saucepan and turn your heat on to like a medium low, just so you don't want it to scorch. This pan that I'm using is pretty thin, and so I don't want it to scorch on us. And then we are going to add a half a cup of sugar, and this is my 1/4 scoop. So I am gonna add 2 1/4 scoops, or a half a cup. And then we are gonna add a 1/4 cup of cocoa. Baking cocoa works just fine. This tends to be our favorite brand, but you can use whatever brand makes you happy. And we're just gonna give that a good stir and incorporate that really well. Again, we don't want it to scorch on the bottom, so make sure that you stir it often. We do not want to bring this to a boil. We just want to bring it up to a simmer so it's nice and warm all the way through. And then I just always add a couple pinches of salt and a good splash of vanilla. And then we are just going to mix this again really well to incorporate it, keep it from scorching on the bottom as it continues to simmer. And then we are going to pour this into 2 of our favorite mugs and enjoy this while we make a nice warm dinner. We were craving some comfort food after that snowstorm knocked us all down a few notches. We were getting used to that 70-degree days. So we are going to start with some butter and some milk, and then you'll see me add some cream to this as well. That would be like equivalent to a heavy cream. And then I am just going to incorporate that again and just let that start cooking down over a medium heat in our cast iron. Guys, I swear I use this cast iron for everything. And then while this continues to cook down, we are going to sprinkle in some garlic, some salt, and I did not have any fresh parsley to chop up and put in here. So just some regular dehydrated parsley added in worked just fine for this recipe. This is kind of a take on Alfredo. I did not have chicken. We had to use up some leftover pork, and so this is, again, a take on Alfredo. It was better than my husband thought it was going to be when I told him that we were having a pork Alfredo. Then I just added a good shake of pepper, and again we're going to stir that up and continue to let that cook down. And now we are going to add some cheese. I just kind of used what I had in the refrigerator, which is kind of how we ended up with a pork Alfredo in the first place, but this is just some shredded cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, and some leftover Parmesan cheese from a different recipe. And so we just throw that in there, and we're going to give that a good stir and let that start to melt. While that continues to cook down even some more, I took our pork roast out of the fridge. I had just cut it up into some smaller pieces so it would fit a little better. Now this pork roast was actually some that we had smoked, and that smokiness came through this dish just wonderfully, especially on this cold. It just added a pop of something that just put it over the top for us. And so then we're just going to add in our noodles, give it a good mix, and we are going to dish this up, and we are going to enjoy this together along with what's left of our hot cocoa. So thanks so much for joining us today as we explored what Mother Nature had to bring us yet again. We made a super simple, easy, quick comfort dish for dinner, and of course enjoyed some hot cocoa together. We look forward to seeing you guys in the near future as we start to take you guys along on some really fun spring projects that we have planned as they arise. So thanks for joining us, and we hope to catch you next time.